you've talked about strategic buyers a few times. I don't think I fully understand the difference between a normal buyer and a strategic buyer.
Yeah.
Like, how do you define that? Like, who is a strategic buyer?
Yeah. So I'll start with a normal buyer, right? Back before COVID, the majority of business owners, now I'll say majority, it was usually around 35 to 40% of business owners were actually looking at transitioning their business to a next generation successor, usually a family member. So that was pre-COVID. After COVID, that number almost cut in half because COVID was not fun for most business owners and they didn't want their children to have to experience that. So they would rather sell and give you cash than have to go through COVID again. So a normal, you look at that being normal was you're looking at a business from our standpoint. What kind of business would you want to leave your children, right? If they're going to run it. So you would want low risk, right? You would want across the board, you'd want more services, more industries, more clients across the board instead of being very niche or very specific, right? Because it just lowers the risk. That was what you'd be looking at for giving it to your kids. On the flip side of the buyer chart, if you will, you go all the way up to strategic. Strategic buyer is not going to care if accounting firm normally trades for 2.5 times EBITDA, right? They don't care about that. They're going to care about you do this very specific thing and we need that very specific thing. Even if you look at private equity, they're usually across the board. The bigger the company, the more shallow they are, meaning they offer a whole lot of stuff. But if you go really deep in one area, so whatever that is, you go really deep in that area, well, then you're now more attractive to a strategic buyer because they're not buying you just because of the multiples of your EBITDA is 2.5 times, like the industry average. So they're going to go, they might be at 10 times EBITDA because they don't care about that. They're buying you for a specific strategic reason. So our goal would be to find out what that reason is and going, oh yeah, that would be perfect. We can get you a buyer for that.